Hi, everyone. My name is Kenesha, and I am a consultant coach, and I help people and their brands and companies to create visible brands and create communities and create positive social impact. I'm also the founder of the Black in Events Network, where we help to amplify and represent Black professionals working in the events industry. So, today I'm going to speak to you all about elevating your personal brand. Super important because I want to help you stand out. I want to position you as a leader and an expert in the industry. So I'm going to ask you a question. When was the last time you actually put your personal brand first? As professionals, we are constantly putting our events, our businesses, our clients in front of us because we have to fulfill the needs of them and everything that we're doing. I totally get it. I've been there. And I've been on that side and I realized that I was actually self-sabotaging myself. So I'm going to get to that in a moment. Now, I know this because, throughout my career, I've realized I don't post all the time. I didn't do this. I didn't do all that to give my brand the personal oomph that it needed. Now, as the world starts to open, more employers are starting to employ, and a lot of clients are starting to book. You don't want to leave your personal brand on the back end. You want to start standing out. So I'm going to share some really helpful tips that's going to help you stand out from all the competition that is coming along the lines as we open up in the events industry. So I'm going to give you some background, a little bit about where I've been, what I do, and then give you some really helpful tips. So a little bit about my journey. I've been doing events for about 10 years now. And if you want to include also my grade 5 attempt at trying to create a festival in our neighborhood, along with some high school stuff, maybe it's been a little bit longer. I studied at Ryerson University where I did marketing and communications. I dabbled a little bit in the music industry, doing some PR work, some interviewing, and some cool hosting gigs. Then I kind of went into an industry and did some work and I didn't really like it. And that's where I kind of started a women's empowerment company where I was helping women to be empowered and live their best lives. Um, After that, I realized I really, really love events and I went back to school, did some event management in a graduate's program, and really found my thing. So I did a little bit of not for profit, then I jumped into the corporate space, and honestly, it was life changing. I did events throughout the country and from big to small, and it was such an incredible experience. The problem is that I wasn't sharing this. I wasn't sharing the expertise I was building, the knowledge, the photos. They were literally all the pictures that I took, the videos I took were all stuck in my phone. And of course, the stuff on my resume. So I want to really help you to kind of position you to start really putting yourself out there because it's important and it's vital to your career. It's like when you're doing a math test and your teacher says, well, you didn't really show all your work. You're not going to get credit for that. You got to show all your work to get the results that you want, to get that A, right? So the first tip that I'm going to share with you in terms of helping you to elevate your brand is to know your story. Super important. Now, your story is made up of a lot of different elements, and this is what helps to define your brand. What I like to do is a bio brain dump. And in this bio brain dump, I just get a pen and a paper and I put everything on paper of what I've done. I like to work backwards, which helps. And usually I use like the latest gig that I did that's on my resume and really dissect every single thing that I did. That helps a lot in learning about the stuff that you did. And sometimes you even impress yourself and amaze yourself when you do this activity. Now, you also want to ask yourself some really important questions. And those questions are, what are your goals? What have you accomplished? What's important to you? What are you trying to do in the next, I don't know, 2 to 5 years? Those things help when you're creating your bio brain dump. And then it also helps you to construct a really nice bio. Everything that you see, you're going to start pulling out the important things and putting something together. From there, you're going to create a bio and you're going to put it on your LinkedIn. And if you also have a website, I encourage you to have a website, put it on your website. And this is going to help people to see all the incredible things that you are doing. Now, Another thing that helps with doing your bio is that you can take out the really important nuggets and put them on your social media, like your Instagram and your Twitter. So this is going to really position you to kind of start standing out. The next thing that I also want to tell you is don't be afraid if your story is too short or it's too long. There's always room to find your expertise in when you're doing creating your story. The next point that I want to share with you is to share what you know. So when you create your bio, you are going to notice that there are things that you've learned. There's case studies that you could probably pull out of the things that you've experienced and start posting those experiences on your social media. Create a maybe even like a paragraph of some stories. This helps to build awareness. People are going to start seeing what you've been doing. And it's also going to start creating a nice community. People are going to talk to you, want to hear more about your stories. It also helps to network, and it also helps to put your name in rooms that you're not even haven't even stepped into yet. The next thing you know, you might be asked to speak on panels, be a speaker. Maybe you'll even be on Forbes. That literally happened to me this year. I kid you not. So it's all about putting yourself out there. Share what you know. The best thing is that the more we learn and the more we share is the more we grow, and people start connecting to our stories and the things that we've been through. Now, the next point that I have, which is my third point, is it's all about mindset. You are your brand and you have to own it. You have to be it. You have to walk it. You have to think it. Your brand goes every single where you go. All right. So I was talking to my mentee a couple weeks ago, and she told me a story about feeling like she's just an employee at her workplace. And I said, you know what? This mindset limits our ability to perform at our best, right? When you start thinking from a personal brand mindset, you start kind of having more pep in your step. You look at your employer more as your client, and your performance changes and your expectations for yourself changes despite what your expectation is to be at your job. It's usually goes higher. So again, it's all about mindset. Now, my third point is to show up. My fourth point, I'm sorry, is to show up. And this is a really important point because oftentimes we think that it's just about our personal brand, our accomplishments, our goals, and it is not. Really, it's about how we show up for the world, our community, giving our voice to things that are voiceless. Remember, we want to also personalize, give some humanness to your personal brand. It's not always about the professional side, it's also about you and the things that's important to you. Now, last year, when the murder of George Floyd happened, I had a peer in the events industry who was not, you know, Black. She said, you know what, I really want to use my voice and make change. She created a reading club, which is a reading for race club, to kind of help people read a selected book, come back collectively and talk about their thoughts in a safe space. These are ways of us showing up in our industry, in our roles, and trying to do things to make a difference. So, as event professionals, we have this power where we are connected to so many different people, so many different networks. It's amazing when you actually think about how many people we're actually connected to. And the more we start to use our voice, is the more we start to grow, the more we start to create change around us. So really think about the things that matter to you and really start giving voice to that, and it will be beautifully attached to your personal brand. Now, my next point is very similar. My next point is about paying it forward. Now, this is interesting because it's kind of similar, but when we pay it forward, we're talking about branding your actual event. Paying it forward with the use of maybe aligning your event with a cause. Talk to your peers, talk to your superiors and say, listen, I think it's important that we start using our events and just aligning it with things that matter and teaching each other, because the thing about events, it's so powerful. It has the opportunity to really change things. So why not use our events for the good, even if it's just a meeting? pair it and align it with something, a cause, an organization, and use that to make a difference. So, really brand your event with just attaching it to important initiatives and causes. Now, as I close my message to you all, as event professionals, I really know that we don't always get credit for the things that we do, and we do a lot behind the scenes. It is the sixth stressful job in the world, so I get it. So don't do yourself a disservice and put yourself behind, the curtains. I want you to really step out on that stage and let your personal brand shine. I promise you, I know that you have the expertise to really align yourself and be an expert in the industry, be a leader, make change, and absolutely shine because you deserve it. You work super hard. So after a year that we've had, it's your time to really step out and earn those gigs that you've been waiting for all year. I also want to encourage you to visit me at www.kanisha.co. And if you go on the freebies tab, you'll find helpful questions to help you guide you while you're doing your bio brain dump. Also, follow me on Instagram at GetKWillLive or Twitter or LinkedIn and connect. I'd love to help you with your brand as you go through your career. Anyways, thank you so much, and I hope this helped you to elevate your personal brand. See you later.